Myron, chat's getting mad at us in both of the live streams because we're not asking about the Jews. So I do a question for you.
Sure, let's do it.
What is the time scale that we learn at Mass the answer to the JQ?
Man, I'll tell you this: we're going through a mass awakening right now. I've talked with guys that have been talking about this stuff for a minute, right? A couple of decades. And they've even said, I've spoken with guys like, shout out to Lucas Gage, Ryan Dawson, a lot of these guys have been talking about this stuff for like the better part of a decade. They even told me like, dude, the rate at which people are waking up to Israel control of our government is crazy. Like they've said in the past year or so, they've seen more progress than in the 10 to 15 years that they've been talking about it. Because the thing is if you talked about this topic prior to October 7th, man, like you were going to get, it's like an insta ban, right? And then, hey, I don't want to play the music, right? But like, but if you do the early life check and you figure out who ran YouTube and who ran Facebook and who ran Meta and Instagram and Google during this period of time, and they still do, and many of them, they're all Zionists, man. So, there's a reason why this topic has been taboo for so long. But I think with the overwhelming amount of shock and outrage of what's going on with October 7th, the ADL, Media Matters, a lot of these organizations that typically would censor individuals that were critical of Israel, they just can't go after everybody. There's too many people that are talking about this. And the crazy part is that this is, like I said before, this is like the one topic I've seen people on both the far left and the far right actually agree on. Now, they come to different reasons. They come to the same conclusion for different reasons, right? What I've noticed on the left is they make the humanitarian argument. It's an apartheid ethno-state. They're occupying Israel. It's messed up. They're coming from that angle. And then a lot of people on the far right come from a more nationalist angle, like, hey, we have a foreign government controlling our politicians, and our foreign policy is 100% basically being run by these individuals, which puts us in precarious situations internationally. So they both come to the same conclusion for different reasons, but hey, I'll take it all day, right? Like this is, if someone like me is agreeing with like someone like Hassan Piker, that should tell you that it's a big problem. So, but people are waking up, which is good. Yeah,
and we can thank Elon for that, for facilitating that, even though we may have disagreements on the H-1B position.
I'm sorry?
I said we can thank Elon for that, facilitating that on X.
Yes, and Rumble too. There's been an incredible rise on like free speech platforms, alternative platforms that allow people to say this stuff. But I would say October 7th definitely like set it over the edge. Then you got people like Candace Owens, Dan Bilzerian, Ian Carroll. Like, it's crazy. On the same day, Ian Carroll went on Joe Rogan, Candace Owens went on Theo Von, and Andrew Tate went on Nelk, and they all talked about Israel. On the same day, I was like, holy crap. Like, and each of these interviews got like millions of views, right? Like, Ian Carroll talked about the dancing Israelis and Epstein, which we could talk about Epstein all day. We all know what he was doing. He was a Mossad asset, or Israeli intelligence asset. Talked about JFK, and then Candace Owens talked about the black male groups. And Andrew Tate said, there's one group you can't criticize in America, and he said, it's the Zionist lobby. So the fact that this all happened on the same day was wild.